Alright guys, here we go. This is a 2008 Toyota Tacoma, and I am going to install a Icon add-a-leaf kit to the rear. I'm just going to see what kind of difference it gives me. So this is before. Let's see, we're at, trying to measure the same spot each time. Line up center with the hub, about 35 1/8 inches. So we're going to put this on and see what we get when we're all done. Alright, so I got one side of my leveling kit on. I had to remove that old leaf spring pack, install the new one there, and let's see, trying to go center line again. I don't have the center cap on because all the wheels torqued, but I'm looking like 36 1/4. And I don't have the other side done, so see what happens with that. I'll walk around to the other side of the truck, and you can see that just, let's see what this side is to start off with here. One. On this side showing, yeah, we'll see what it says when we get it all together. That's showing like 36, but there's a pretty noticeable difference looking down the body line here. Let's see that side there. And see if you can see. That there looks much nicer. Alright, 2008 Tacoma, Icon add-a-leaf. So we're going to have to remove the factory overload here. And so I got the wheel off, got a jack stand underneath supporting the chassis, and have a floor jack right now supporting the axle. So we just got to undo, start off with doing this brake bracket here, 12mm. And I already did the other side, and as another guy had posted in his video, there isn't much you can do with that. So putting it back on. All right, next thing I do is I just removed the top shock bolt up here. I've got the Bilsteins. You can see this right here. There's this bolt. Probably have to walk over here, and this bolt here. In the top of these Bilsteins, there's a 5mm Allen spot. So I'm gonna take my 17mm ratcheting wrench. Can't get my impact in there. We're gonna hold it tight. Get this off. All right, so got this top bolt off. I loosened this bottom bolt on the shock, and then I just pulled the shock down. Isn't that some fun? Give you a good arm workout. Just like this. And I'm just gonna, I did the other side. I didn't take the whole shock off. I actually just left the bottom bolt in. Left it just like that, gave me plenty of room to do what I had to do. All right, so next we're gonna lower the floor jack and take a little bit. I'm actually gonna undo these U-bolts on this, and then we will lower the floor jack at that point and keep going. All right, we got the U-bolts off right here. Just 4 19mm bolts on my Toyota. And then drop the axle down a little bit, put the clamps on it, then I drop the axle down. Then I got this broke loose. This cap comes off your rubber bump stop, a little pocket in there. This was a 14mm bolt right here. The center bolt comes out. And now I'm gonna have to let down floor jack a little bit more. There we go, got that bolt out. And so now we can remove our clamps here and pull this out. All right, here we got the add-a-leaf here. I got the factory overload out that came off of there. There it is there. It's off. We got the clamps off. So here is the new head leaf going in. So mine came with this little plastic sleeve on the bolt to protect the threads. To pull that off, we got to pull that nut off, which is going to make the spring pack move apart, at least this bottom piece here with the stud, but you got to do it to be able to slide it in there. So we got to pull these bolts and pull this bolt off here, and then we can start the reinstalling it. All right, here. So the other note I wanted to make here is that when you're installing this, the longer side goes towards the back. So from here to the center of the pin, we're about 15 1/4, and from center of the pin to the back, about 18. So it installs just like this. So the longer side up here. I know in another video, the guy had to cut this pin off here. It was really close to mine on the other side. We'll see how this side goes. But I was able to cut this off at the very end when I was done, and that's what I plan on trying to do for this video here too. So I'll get this thing prepped and then we'll start installing it. All right, so one thing I did do I found out a trick on the other side that kind of helped me anyway. I took the center pin when the spring pack was all apart, and I went ahead and kind of wormed it in there, and then I clamped it together, and then it comes in and out nice and easy now. That was the old center pin. And so what I found is that now, because I watched the other guy in another video wrestle that, so now mine goes in there so nice, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the nut on here and start it, and then there's enough room here with my clamp to get this off. If anyone's looking for one of these small clamps, I believe this is actually for holding the camper shell on. But I'm going to leave that on real quick. I'm going to start this center bolt, and then now I can start these bolts, get these clamps back on there, remove the clamp out of my way before I tighten this. And then the fun part, which is getting the axle back in line with the stud pin on the bottom into that axle, or into that hole right there. So I'll do that, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I was able to talk the cameraman into get this bolt here. I got these back in, started. Spring pack still has some play in it there, it's not all the way tight. I got him to start putting pressure where I could see the pin, so I had to rotate this way. I got it pretty close. I got the pin so it needs to go at an angle that way. I found a nice little bar of some kind, and I just kind of lined up on the pin there, and was able to tap it in manually like that. So now I know that this bolt went in there nice and lined up. So I'm going to run this down nice and tight and tighten these up. And then if you can see over here, that's what I was talking about right here. So this is the clamp on the spring pack that everyone's been cutting off. On my Icon lift here, I've got about a 1/2 inch clearance between the two. I don't know if this is what everyone's talking about that interfered, but I could see where if you collapse the suspension quite a bit, maybe it would hit that. So I am going to cut that off. We'll get to that after I get this done and back together. So we'll be back in just a minute. All right, so we got this. We got these tightened up. Got this tightened up. You can see how much access we have, XCS we got there now. This won't go on there. It'll only go about a 1/2 inch up. So we're gonna leave about a 1/2 inch of threads here. I'm gonna buzz that off because you can see that's a no-go. So nice sawzall with a metal blade, and finally, pause it. All right, now that got cut off, I'm gonna put this on, and it came with 2 new U-bolts in the kit. You can tell these ones are a little bit longer. Looks like about 2 inches if I was guessing. So it just slides in there like that. You can see little keepers. Which you guys have, obviously if you're doing this on your own, you know this part. It's pretty easy, probably the easiest part. And then just washer, bolt. Bottom plate's got to go on. And then cross, tighten. Back and forth. I just work, tighten that side, tighten this side, tighten this side, tighten this. Just kind of keep working it back and forth till I get it nice and tight. And we'll resume there. All right, so we got the U-bolts on and tightened down. I had to collapse this, pull this through, and I got the shock mount back on. And so now the fun part, we're gonna come down here. Bolts in the way. So you can see this clamp here, and there's only a 1/2 inch there. I don't know, you probably could leave that, but this is my hunting rig, and I plan on having it see just as much off-road time as on-road time. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. So I'm gonna take the Sawzall again and cut this stud off right there, and then we will find out what happens after that. All right, I cut that stud off there. I would definitely recommend using a new blade every time you gotta go to do it. So now I'm just gonna see if I can pry that sucker off there. I know what we're gonna have to do here. We're gonna have to cut. I forgot on the other side too, you gotta make a little cut right here. So I'm gonna cut right here real quick, and then so that it can actually come off there. And we'll be right back. All right, I got that cut. Now I can rotate that off there. And you can tell that's kind of a oval shaped pin or a stud right there on the bottom of the leaf. I'm gonna go ahead and just shave that off with my Sawzall as well. All right, got that pin shaved off there now. I feel pretty good. Just so when I flex and stuff, if this does happen to move or lean or hit, I'm not worried about that shackle hitting. I will say that this might have been easier for me than you guys, because this last year had the recall done on the spring pack and toy to replace them. However, I have not even owned the truck a year, so it was done before I bought it. I did see the paperwork and the receipt for that. All right, I think we're just about good to go. We are gonna finish tightening everything up, make sure everything's good to go. We're gonna put the wheel back on it, and we'll take a final measurement on this side and that side and show you guys. Cool. All right, guys, we are finally all done. I think it looks way better. Before, I had a spacer lift in the front, and the back was stock, so it sat a little bit low in the back. And we're planning on probably doing a 265/75 R16 tire here pretty soon. Still haven't decided on what we're gonna do. If you guys have a certain tire you like, I'm thinking of a mud terrain of some kind, please comment and let us know. So we're gonna measure this guy. We were 35 1/4, I believe. And now we are at 36 3/4. So if my math is strong, we gained a true 1.5 inches. Icon has that figured out. And overall, I'll say the project really wasn't that bad. The only thing that I didn't see where I had to probably cut that second bracket or that first bracket off, but went ahead and did it anyway. I don't know, check out our bumper that we had, a local guy. He actually makes these. They're pretty cool. We have plans to do a winch. Just picked this truck up a few months ago, so we're gonna keep kind of doing some stuff to it. If you have anything that you guys specifically want to see us try and do on it, or that you have suggestions for us to do, let us know. We are open to it. In the future, I would love to do an electric locker in the front. We have limited slip in the back. This is a TRD Sport, I believe, so we have limited slip diff in the back. We do live here in way northern California, and we get snow here, even though, yes, I know we're in California. It does snow here. There's actually snow in the back of the bed right now. So yeah, we'd like to do an electric locker in the back. I'm gonna leave the limited slip in the rear, and I think this thing would be a beast. All right, well, let us know what you guys think. Like and subscribe. Thanks.